Hi. What's going on? This is a weird one. We're back in Final Fantasy XIV. The Stormblood expansion is wrapping up over the next few months, and I figured it was time I caught up, and I finally got up to the latest patch, 4.5. The Blue Mage is coming out sometime next week, Tuesday, I think, which is going to be my main focus, to be honest, because Blue Mages are awesome. But I also decided that I wanted to catch up with the story because because of work commitments and just other things, I'd fallen behind, quite massively behind, with the story, and I'm finally up to 4.5, and I'm a little bit annoyed with myself, actually, because there were some things that happened in 4.4 that I did not see coming. Now, I don't know whether it was because I haven't been paying attention, or because of how Final Fantasy XIV tells its main story with obvious patches, and therefore there's a big gap between things and you forget them. But the revelations about the Empire and about Solus Vosgalvus, the first Emperor, the revelations surrounding him were suddenly like, oh god, I want to find out what happens next, and I haven't felt like that in a while. I haven't felt that urge to log in and find out what happens. One of the reasons for that was due to the fact that because it had been a while, I got gear locks at the Tsukuyomi fight from, was it 4.2? I just hadn't got enough gear because I hadn't been playing, so I hadn't got the required item level to get into it. Now though, I am all caught. That's the wrong button. What is it on here? Yeah, so I'm up at 359 now because I bought some stuff off the auction house. I've got some gil, and it's not like I use it on anything because I'm not a crafter. So we're gonna take a look today at the 4.5 story quest and see exactly what happens because of that. I'm also going to be drinking plenty of fluids on the way because I don't want any annoying microphone sounds. So, Alize, soul searching. So, what's happening? As far as I'm aware, something is calling the Scions, by the sound of it, from the future. But I think I can only make that inference based on things that we've seen from the next expansion, about how all of the things that we are doing are causing light to wash across the planet and tipping that balance of light and dark massively in light's favour, because we are the warrior of light. And in Shadowbringers, the next expansion, it sounds like we are going to have to tip that balance back, because we are in the process of causing, through all of these good deeds, we're in the process of causing a calamity. So something is calling us from the future, telling us that the path we are on is not going to end well. And it's kind of incapacitating the Scions. So basically, pretty much everybody is currently in a coma of sorts. Their soul is not attached to their body. And Alize is at her wit's end because she doesn't know where her brother is. And pretty much everybody else is comatose. So this is the first quest of the patch.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
Great.
After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjury.
Mysterious power.
Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Eorzea and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle.
It's true. As much as I like Alize, she's not actually very useful.
And Alphino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
That's all I do.
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
That Kryl. It is Kryl. Hi, Kryl.
Kryl, I thought you busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
Are we still doing Eureka? Is that... Yes, we are. I haven't done any of Eureka. Actually, one of the things that I want to do before the expansion is have a go at Eureka. They've got like, is it 3 or maybe 4 different kind of Eureka lands now. I haven't touched the content at all. There's so much stuff in this game that I haven't done. I haven't done the 2nd and 3rd Ivalice raids. Or did I do the 2nd one? I might have done the 2nd one. No, I didn't. So the entire Ivalice storyline is out now. Haven't done any of that. All 3 lands of Eureka I haven't done. I haven't done any of the Hildebrand quests. In fact, I think I haven't finished those from Heaven's Ward yet. I haven't been into the Lost Canals or done any of that kind of stuff. And I think I went into Heaven on High like once. So I've got loads to do.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow Scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
I don't know why, but it sounds like it's echoing a bit in my headphones. I'll have to check whether it's coming through on the recording in a minute.
Yes, I should have thought
They are
of
in a
that.
big echoey room, so...
Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
And
Good.
I should be happy to provide it.
Tell me
Now,
things, Kryl.
What's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas.
Because he's dumb.
Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
It sounds like the Scions. Hey, she laughed.
Well, that particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
It's true. And he's been a pain in the
He
ass.
remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
Multiple times, yes.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely
Company
his
action
eyes
is
have
active.
been opened, thanks to a certain someone.
Who could that be? Oh, me?
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his speech. Mum's the word, eh?
Indeed. Conspiratorial glances.
Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Well, I could go in because I never speak. Although I've noticed that they have been using that little choice, dialogue box choice thing a few more times recently. I don't think it makes any real difference. Sitting. Waiting. And... Foyle's outfit still confuses me.
All 3 are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep.
We know this already.
Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
We know this.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yes. Yes, indeed. Nod.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Oh, true. I've forgotten about that. That's the problem with these patches being so far apart.
But I can't imagine it was easy.
No, didn't it have us tracing all over the Dranian Forelands?
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye,
God.
even to make the attempt.
Great.
So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Oh, she's not going to be happy that Ishtola's not with us. I do like Matoya, though. I sometimes feel like I relate to Master Matoya a little bit, perhaps too much. Right. Let us head. Oh, there's no quick and easy way to get to Matoya's cave, is there? It's a trip to Idleshire. Or Idleshire. Or... I'm not entirely sure anybody's actually pronounced it in-game. So I don't know how they actually want us to say it. Ba, 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 da, ba. Oh yes, I was just going to check the sound settings. Nothing odd there. Ba, 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 da, da. I've actually been here recently because I unlocked Musien's Arboretum and went and did that, and it was really good actually. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed Final Fantasy XIV's dungeons, especially true of the fact that there's a load of loot. But didn't I get some white mage loot that I wanted to put on? Yeah. Meant to do this a while back. Dum dum dum. Because basically everything is an upgrade for most of my classes. Where are we going? Down here, isn't it? Everything is quite dark. Poggers! Please do keep having those little speech to yourself. It can be awfully sensitive at times. Yes. Ooh, you've got a shiny sword. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. Oh, of course, because this is the first time Alizé's actually been there. Here. There. Here, there. There, here. Ba, 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 ba. Still love this music.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name. Well, I see now, you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Lovely imagery. Thank you, Matoya.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ah, that's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
Quite right, too. Us old people.
Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
Everything's gone to hell, Matoya.
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
Fade to black.
And Stola is one of the afflicted, is she?
That is the most maudlin I think I've heard, Matoya.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Don't tell her that. Ah, Matoya, she cares. Always like the lighting in this game. It's so frustrating that the texture work is so iffy.
Right. Let us see what we can see.
Come
I'll
on.
begin from where our friends first fell and cast my senses out from there.
That was the Royal Quarter in Ala Mhigo. Ooh. Directional audio. Oh. Nope.
What is it? Did you find them?
No. Can't find them anywhere.
Wait, this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
That ain't good.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
What?
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Yes. I remember that quest. That was ages ago. That's quite the callback.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
Yeah, because they're linked.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
Curiouser and curiouser. Eureka!
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls
Or
are
not.
still out there is progress of a sort. We just have
Of
to
the
keep looking.
sort. It's not much progress, to be fair.
Pray, excuse me a moment.
London calling. Sorry, Linkshell calling.
Yes? I remember, but... What, to Ala Mhigo? We're on our way.
That was a surprisingly long pause.
That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Ala Mhigo, and Maxima,
Ooh.
the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
That's interesting, because the last time we saw Maxima, he was with Alphino and this mysterious shadow hunter guy who looks a lot like Nero.
I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go! Nod.
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
Ain't that the truth?
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Thank you, Kryl.
let's be off then.
Teleportation ho! Uh-oh.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Something weird is happening.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Eorzea were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether.
Oh yes, like before
It
the calamity.
seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Wise, but intriguing nonetheless. Yeah, because I remember back in pre-Realm Reborn, in the first version of Final Fantasy XIV, towards the end of the version 1 of the game, a lot of things started showing up, like de-aspected crystals, where all of the elemental stuff had been drained from them. And a similar thing seems to be happening here. So it's nice to see that they are keeping a consistency of story. It's one of the things that Final Fantasy XIV has always been very good at. So, that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. Not entirely sure tamed is the right word. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. Right. More food. I never ever use the food items. The news from Ala Mhigo has left Eorzea in a state of nervous excitement. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. It can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said. Unless... there's no point speculating. Lise said she'd notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Ala Mhigo quarter. I'll be praying for good news, learn what you can about Alphino's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. Oh no, I'm hiding some of the nodding. There is always nodding. Right. To Girobania. Oh, 999 gil. Them costs are steep. Especially after spending like 2.5 million or whatever it was on gear. Up. Upward slip now. For I'm a dark knight and you are the only mount of choice. Oh. I think he must be doing the same quest that we are. Greetings, Scions. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in? Yes. Let us see what is happening. This is Maxima here. Oh, and Verban's here with us as well. Hi, Lise.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Please.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
They never are, Maxima.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Ah, decorum.
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events.
Good, good. Tell me what...
Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard.
I remember
and
this.
Forced to make an emergency landing.
Mostly because I've done it very recently, like this last week. For most people, this would have been 3 months, 4 months.
As we stumbled from the wreckage,
This
our
guy
attackers
looks
fell upon
a
us
lot
again,
like Nero.
and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Scions.
Wrong hair colour and skin colour though.
This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
He's
Well.
okay.
At least he's not lying in a heap in the burn.
Positive thinking, Alize.
Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
We assume so.
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them.
The thing is, we've already ascertained that destroying an Ascian is an incredibly difficult task. One that Moonbreeder gave her life for.
They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went.
Yeah.
Until we finally arrived here in Ala Mhigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home.
That's good, consistent character
And
development.
if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you.
Ooh, good.
During the course of our
story.
journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner,
yes.
and chose
Those weird
instead to bring a
bioweapon
formidable
thing.
new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames
I've
of
forgotten
rebellion.
what it was called.
I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
They're prepping for war.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Ala Mhigo?
Oh, great.
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be
That
so
is true.
soon.
We did know it was coming.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't.
Well, that's inspiring. Thanks, Raban.
Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on!
Do it.
No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Stall them.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hier know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
It's a good job we can teleport.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go again.
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
What gates? Oh, wait. The gates of... Is it Nelthal? The Death God?
Well, at least we're both still standing.
It's just going to be us left after all
thank the
this.
gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
But have we kept Kryl?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
So much setup! I like a good mystery, and FF14 is generally quite good at setting up mysteries that pay off in a pretty decent way later on. Eorzea! So, Alphinaud is safe, for the present at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Lise tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave! To the Batcave! Speak with Lord Hien. It's a good job these quests give us lots of cash as rewards. Because getting there the conventional way would take a long time. To the Kinken! Are you wearing? Oh, yes. I see you have tidings for Lord Hien. May I show you in? Why, yes, you may. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Including some Damascens. Fall of Abanasta was not the end of our nation. We survived, retreated underground. We've been gathering strength to mount a counter-offensive. Dalmasca will rise again. I'm come to represent the lands of Nangsha. I think that's how you pronounce that. Long have we struggled in defiance of the Empire, waiting for just such an opportunity as this alliance. We of the Blue Kojin will not submit to the Empire's tyranny. Only our red brethren awakened to their folly. After their humbling at your hands, Magni and his Oronir have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Fate does not sit well with the son and his children. The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. It's time they paid their dues. Alone, Doma could accomplish little against the Empire, but in concert with the allies who have gathered here today, we might do much. Demajen, you have arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposal struck a chord with many of our neighbours, I am pleased to say. Oh, it's all coming to a head. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavours with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation with the steppe tribes. We've also been joined by our neighbours from Nansha and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire, which is kind of handy, because that's what we want to talk to you about. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphinaud. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Ala Mhigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. So they're turning their attention away from Hingashi and towards the old world. And I would help deflect that blow. but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burns is in place. The all-important Allegan energy barrier, yes. Do we need to go and check on that? Weren't Sid and Co working on it? The energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Serious Aegis. Aegis. Or some such. Well, just a thought. The ironwork engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Good, they're usually quite speedy at this kind of stuff. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Azizlar firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think Az compares. We have seen it, many a time. I guess while we're here, I'd come too if you don't mind. Though I am no Stola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course. Timing of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yagiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. That's all settled and ready, my lord. Where the storms. Cash. Ba 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 ba. Rousing tunes. I wonder what the quest complete music for Shadowbringers is going to be. You obviously have some idea of what to expect, having seen the barrier Azizlar, but having not had the pleasure myself, I'm exceedingly curious to see a wall capable of keeping out one of those massive Imperial airships. The barrier Azizlar was impressive. In fact, didn't we get through it because we had a special ram, which the Imperials won't have because Sid designed it, and he's on our side. As expected, Suino Sato failed to answer the call, not that I blame the Ruby Princess. Enlightened as she is reputed to be, it could be no easy task persuading her people to relinquish the long-held isolation. Serious Wall! Ian is eager to see the energy barrier in action. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Remember to ring the bell to be notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.